Today we'll be talking about Muzan. I've been getting a lot of questions about Muzan lately. The scene where he's holding that girl in his arms at Asakusa. If she's blood, does that make her a demon? If she's got his blood, does that make her unbeatable? Did she end up being killed by Muzan, or is she still alive? Well, I did some research and here are my thoughts. First, is she a demon or not? If she is, personally, I think that's pretty intense and dark. If she's a demon, they can probably make a spin-off just from that. You see, even if the Demon Slayer Corps managed to kill Muzan, if she was his daughter and not his subordinate, and she was still around, then, from her perspective, her father was brutally murdered by the Demon Slayer Corps. They're the evil organization who kills anyone who gets in their way, and she'll do anything to avenge her father, and so she sets out to get revenge on the Demon Slayer Corps. Muzan, better known as Tsukihiko to her, he's a loving father from her standpoint, and remember that demons can only eat humans. So eating humans is inevitable for demons to survive. Humans do the exact same thing to other animals. What Dad did? He had no choice. So the daughter who got left behind, she starts digging into the truth behind her father's death. But then she starts to learn the truth about him, all the horrible things he's done. Sounds like a pretty intense spin-off, don't you think? Anyways, back to our first question. Is she a demon? On paper, yes, she's his daughter, so that makes her a demon. However, she's not related to him by blood. Allow me to explain. Muzan's wife. She was married with children before she met Muzan, and the girl in his hands, that's one of her kids. So why did she leave her old husband to be with Muzan? Well, Muzan learns that her father owns a company, and he saw this as an opportunity. In other words, he married her for the money. So he killed her old husband, then married her. So to her, he was her second husband. So the wife's ex-husband and the girl's true father, Muzan murdered him in cold blood, but they have no idea. Scary. But maybe it's better if they don't know. So this girl, was she killed? In the final episode of the Swordsmith Village arc, Muzan turned himself into a child, but when he learned that Nezuko was no longer afraid of the sun, he kills her mother and the maid. Why did he kill them though? Was it because they saw his true form? But if he didn't want that, why did he blow his cover in front of them in the first place? My guess is he was disguising himself as a child to do research on how to overcome the sun. And now that he had a good idea on how to do so, he no longer had to stay there, so he got rid of them. But why didn't he just leave? Did he really have to kill them like that? I guess we'll never know for sure, but maybe he was sick and tired of playing family, and perhaps he was stressed out. So, was Muzan's daughter killed or not? My guess is, I don't think so. First off, he married his wife for the money. In other words, he needs her. He can't just cut her off. And in the fan book, it's revealed that Muzan is interested in going abroad, and his wife's father owns a company that imports goods from abroad, so, in that sense, it's hard to imagine that he'd just cut her off. Also, when he's Tsukihiko, he doesn't change his appearance. He's Muzan himself. If he murders someone looking like this and someone sees him, it'll cause a lot of trouble for him. And even if he kills them without being seen, if the mother and daughter get killed and the husband goes missing, the police will definitely look into him and go after him. No doubt about that. If that happens, he'll have to spend the rest of his life on the run, unless he disguises himself as someone else forever, which isn't realistic. So when he turned himself into a child, that was temporary, so he could do whatever he wanted. But when he was Tsukihiko, he wasn't wearing any kind of disguise, so I don't think he would have done anything to draw unnecessary attention towards him. If the person is not related to Tsukihiko in any way, and if nobody's around, then maybe he can get away with it. But, anyways, Muzan's daughter and her mother, I think they're still alive. But one more thing to remember. Muzan's ability to transform himself, this plays an important role in deciding the girl's fate. As you already know, Muzan can transform himself as he pleases, but the other demons, they can't do this. So, like the black blood brambles, the ability to transform himself, maybe it's a special skill only he can use. Also, he can use this ability to make a doll of himself. And this doll, this might decide that girl's fate. Allow me to explain. He uses this doll when he's away, apparently, but if it's just an ordinary doll, it can't move around or anything. He won't be able to fool anyone for long. He can try, but if the doll can't move around, then there isn't much he can do. So he can play a different character, but only one at a time. Looking back, we saw him as Tsukihiko, Geiko, and a child. And if he can only play one character at a time, then that means when he turned into a Geiko, he abandoned his identity as Tsukihiko. That's why some assume that he killed his wife, since he was done being Tsukihiko. But like I said before, when he was Tsukihiko, he wasn't putting on any kind of disguise. So again, I doubt he would have done anything to draw unnecessary attention to him. He's the proud type. I don't think he'd abandon his true form for the rest of his life to avoid getting caught. That's just not him. And keep in mind that he's not even wanted at this point. That's probably because he was always extra careful when he didn't have a disguise on. And if he was a wanted criminal, he would have never been able to marry his wife. So my guess is, people who were close to him when he was Tsukihiko, I don't think he hurt them. By the way, when he transformed into a Geiko, in the fan book it says he was doing this to gather intel. What was he looking into? Was it the blue spider lily, or was it something about the Demon Slayer Corps? He got intel on the Demon Slayer Corps from the Ubuyashiki Mansion and the Swordsmith Village, but one question still remains. He turned himself into a Geiko, but does he really have what it takes to be a Geiko? In the fan book, it clearly says that he was a Geiko, but Geikos sing, dance, and play instruments to entertain their clients. They talk to them, pour drinks for them, and so on. I just can't imagine Muzan doing all this. If a client was rude to him even for a second, I have a feeling he would have killed them on the spot. And when he was a Geiko, it says in the fan book that he ordered humans to go look for the blue spider lily. If he was able to give out orders to other humans, maybe he was a high-ranking Geiko. But becoming a high-ranking Geiko is easier said than done. It usually takes years. Maybe he killed a high-ranking Geiko and took her place, but I don't think that's very likely. Why? Well, in the fan book, when he was Tsukihiko, at first he thought about killing her husband and taking his place. But then that would mean he won't be able to go out during the day, which may raise some questions. So he decided to get rid of him to become her new husband instead. By that logic, when he decided to turn into a Geiko, I don't think he tried to take someone's place. That means he started out from the bottom. Still, how did he actually do it? I'd love to see a spin-off of this. Muzan working as a Geiko dealing with stubborn men trying so hard not to kill them. That'd be kinda interesting, don't you think? But on second thought, I don't know, it might be kinda weird. It looked like he was under a lot of stress when he was a Geiko. When he killed members of the lower rank at the meeting, maybe he just got off work as a Geiko or something. Scary. But in the fan book, it says he favors male demons. Maybe it was easier for him to deal with male demons, so maybe being a geiko wasn't so stressful, since all of his clients would be men. It's an interesting thought. And maybe he asked Nakime to teach him how to play an instrument. That'd be kind of funny. Anyways, did Muzan ever think about starting a family of his own? Get married, have kids, that sort of stuff? He used to be with Tamayo, but she betrayed him, and maybe that's why he has trouble trusting women. Here's an interesting thought. Maybe he truly loved Tamayo, so he kept her close. He loved watching her kill humans with joy. He thought it was beautiful. If that's the case, then the last episode of the Hashira training arc, it gives it a whole new perspective. Anyways, back to Muzan's daughter. I don't think Muzan would want to have kids that are related to him by blood, because if the child grows up and becomes powerful like him, he or she might become a threat to him. Maybe he's more scared of demons than the Demon Slayer core. Maybe to him, family is the one thing he fears the most, just like Kagaya Ubuyashiki. That's all for today. See you in the next video. That's all for now. For more Demon Slayer theories, please like and subscribe for more videos. See you soon.